If I told you that every choice you make today is secretly building the person you will be in 5 years, would you still waste a single moment scrolling, complaining, or waiting for motivation? What if the version of you in the future is watching, hoping you would finally take yourself seriously? Most people think transformation comes from huge decisions, dramatic events, or once-in-a-lifetime opportunities. But the truth is far more uncomfortable. Who you become comes from boring, invisible habits repeated when nobody is watching, repeated when they feel pointless, repeated when quitting feels easier than continuing. It is easy to say, one day, I'll start. One day I'll change. But one day is how the dreamer dies. The successful ones understand that greatness is disguised as routine. They treat every day as a vote for strength or weakness, a vote for progress or excuses, a vote for the future or for comfort. And the difference between the winners and the watchers is that winners cast their votes early and consistently. So ask yourself, what did you do yesterday that moved your life forward? Did you work on your skills? Did you invest in your mind? Or did you repeat the same habits that left you stuck last week, last month, last year? If all days are identical, your future will look identical too. If your mornings are lazy, your results will be lazy. If your circle is negative, your mind will become negative. If you feed distractions, you starve your purpose. Change does not announce itself with fireworks. It whispers through repetition. The athlete becomes great because they show up on days they don't feel like it. The leader becomes strong because they keep learning even when they already know enough. The confident person becomes confident because they challenge themselves when fear wants them silent. Every action is a brick. And whether you build a prison or a palace is your decision. You are practicing something. You are practicing discipline or practicing avoidance. You are practicing courage or practicing fear. You are practicing growth or practicing stagnation. And your practice turns into identity. What you repeat becomes what you believe. What you believe becomes how you act. How you act becomes who you are becoming every day. So here is the question you cannot escape. If your daily actions became a person, would you want to meet them? Would they inspire you or embarrass you? Your life is not changed by what you want. It is changed by what you do. Every day is proof. Every day is a choice. Every day is you becoming you. Small decisions matter more than you ever admit. You wake up and believe that today will somehow be different, yet you follow the exact same behaviors that built yesterday. You promise yourself that change is coming, but change does not come to those who wait, it comes to those who act. Every single morning is a negotiation between your potential and your excuses. And your excuses are loud. They tell you that you are tired, that you deserve to rest, that tomorrow will be easier, that comfort is safety. But comfort is the enemy of transformation. Comfort disguises itself as kindness, whispering that you should stay still. But stillness is how dreams suffocate. Think about it. The strongest version of you is already inside you, begging to be trained. But you feed the weaker version of you by choosing distraction over discipline, pleasure over progress, comfort over challenge. When you delay effort, you deny your future. When you settle, you shrink. When you choose what is easy, you surrender what is meaningful. What you repeat daily becomes who you are permanently. And if you constantly practice avoiding the work, you become an expert at failure. The great ones do not wait for motivation. They build systems so motivation becomes irrelevant. They show up even when their feelings fight against them. They show up when nobody sees them. They show up without applause. Because habits are not built in excitement. Habits are built in monotony. Success is not about intensity. It is about consistency. 1 hour a day for a year beats 10 hours once a month. The small steps you dismiss are the exact steps that change your life. Ask yourself honestly, are you building a life or recycling one? Are you living with intention or drifting on autopilot? If your routines do not match your goals, your routines will destroy your goals. You cannot pray for a championship and practice like a beginner. You cannot ask for respect and behave without discipline. You cannot demand success while living like you are afraid of it. Life gives back what you repeatedly give to it. Start paying attention to the tiny moments. The moment you decide to wake up or snooze, the moment you choose to read instead of scroll, the moment you choose to focus instead of complain. Those decisions are the birthplace of character. And character is destiny. The future version of you is shaped in these ordinary choices. Every single day you are voting for the person you will become. So what did you vote for today? Strength or weakness? Progress or excuses? Growth or comfort? Your future self is waiting. Rise unstoppable. Look closely at the people you admire. Not the ones who pretend to be successful, but the ones who actually are. What do they all have in common? They mastered ordinary actions. They mastered waking up when they didn't want to. They mastered practicing when no one was applauding. They mastered saying no to distraction, even when distraction felt more fun. They mastered effort, not ego. And because of that, the world calls them talented. When the truth is they just refuse to quit. You don't need to be extraordinary to begin. You become extraordinary by choosing to begin every single day. But most people underestimate the power of ordinary. They think big dreams require big actions. So they wait for the perfect opportunity, the perfect motivation, the perfect moment to arrive. And waiting becomes their identity. They don't notice that every day spent waiting is a day spent losing time, losing potential, losing confidence. The future does not belong to the people who plan forever. It belongs to the people whose actions are louder than their promises. Your habits write your story behind your back. You might say you want success, but what do your mornings say? What do your evenings say? What does your effort say when it's not convenient? You cannot hide from your daily routine because your routine reveals your truth. People don't fail because they lack desire. They fail because they lack discipline. They want results without respecting the process. They want the finish line without running the race. But growth is sneaky. It happens one tiny behavior at a time. You don't notice it today. You don't notice it tomorrow. But one day you look in the mirror and you are not who you used to be. Confidence shows up. Skills appear. Mindset strengthens. Not because you wished, because you worked. You watered your potential a little bit every day. You didn't rush. You didn't quit. And the world calls it sudden success, but you know the truth, your success was built in silence. So take a moment and imagine your future self standing in front of you. Would they thank you for your efforts today? Would they say, I am proud of you for not giving up? Or would they look disappointed, knowing you traded greatness for comfort again and again? Every day matters more than you think. Every decision is building or breaking the person you say you want to become. Practice consistency like your life depends on it. Because it does. The world doesn't change first, you do. And it starts with what you choose to do next. You have dreams, you have goals, you have visions of a life that feels bigger, stronger, and more meaningful than the one you are living right now. But dreams are fragile when they only live in your imagination. Goals are powerless when they stay written on paper. A vision without action is nothing more than a comforting fantasy. The bridge between who you are and who you want to be is not built by luck or talent, it is built by repetitions, repeated effort, repeated discipline, repeated commitment to the small routines that look unimpressive to everyone else, but life-changing to your future. Look closely at your day. The parts you think are ordinary are the parts that define you. The moment you choose to wake up or sleep in, the moment you speak belief or doubt into your own mind, the moment you get frustrated and either fight through it or run away from it. You don't rise to the level of your dreams. You fall to the level of your habits. And the habits you practice in silence are the ones that decide your success in the light. You do not become confident by talking about confidence. You become confident by doing the hard things you used to fear. You do not become focused by wishing for focus. You become focused by removing distractions and showing up anyway. There is a version of you that wastes nothing. A version of you that knows the value of every minute. That version is not in the future somewhere waiting for you to magically grow into them. That version is shaped by what you invest in daily. The books you read, the skills you build, the challenges you accept, the effort you give when nobody cares. That version is not born, it is built. Built slowly, built intentionally, built through decisions that are easy to ignore because they don't look like progress in the beginning. Ask yourself, are you escaping your life or building it? Do you use your free time to numb your mind or sharpen it? Do you let your mood decide your actions or do you let your actions rewrite your mood? Champions are not born with more willpower. They simply choose not to let their excuses remain in control. They choose progress over comfort. They choose purpose over distraction. They choose the life they want instead of the life that is easy. Every single choice matters more than you think. The smallest improvements repeated daily become the greatest transformation of your entire life. Your future is not hiding. Your potential is not missing. Everything you need is already inside you. Now use it. Today is not a rehearsal. This moment is real. What you repeat is what you become. There is a silent war happening inside you every single day. One side is driven by discipline, focus, responsibility, and the hunger to grow. The other side is driven by comfort, laziness, procrastination, and fear, and whichever side you feed becomes the ruler of your life. You cannot expect strength if you constantly feed your weakness. You cannot expect progress if you constantly feed your distractions. You are teaching yourself every day, teaching yourself to rise or to retreat. Success is not a moment, it is momentum. It is the collection of choices that you think don't matter. The decision to learn instead of escape. The decision to improve instead of complain. The decision to keep moving instead of sitting still. That consistency becomes a force. It becomes who you are, not just what you try. Because habits do not ask for permission, they hardwire your identity. Think about the times you said, just once won't matter. I'll skip today, I'll do it tomorrow. It's only a small delay. Those small delays become permanent delays. That one slip becomes a pattern. That pattern becomes a lifestyle. And that lifestyle becomes regret. People do not regret the days they tried. They regret the days they surrendered without even fighting. The hardest part of growth is not the work, it's the honesty. The honesty to admit that you have more inside you. The honesty to accept that you could give more, learn more, try more. But you didn't. We lie to ourselves with comfort. We convince ourselves that average is enough, that effort is optional, that greatness is unrealistic. But deep down, we know that is not the truth. Deep down, your potential is frustrated with your choices. There will always be distractions. There will always be reasons to delay. But if you choose excuses today, you will have a lifetime of disappointment tomorrow. And if you choose effort today, the rewards will multiply in ways you can't yet imagine. Discipline may feel uncomfortable now, but regret is pain that never leaves. You can choose your pain, the pain of effort, or the pain of regret. Your future self is building a castle or a cage from the bricks you lay daily. And the bricks are tiny: one workout, 1 hour of learning, one step toward your goal, one moment of courage. But when stacked day after day, they form a life you either celebrate or apologize for. So decide what you will feed today. Will you feed your fear or your potential? Will you feed weakness or strength? Every decision is a seed, and the harvest is your destiny. If you want something different, you must do something different, not tomorrow, not someday. Now, look at anyone achieving what you want. You might think their life is easier, but they were lucky, gifted, or chosen. But behind their accomplishments is a truth they rarely talk about. They mastered the boring days. The days when there was no progress visible. The days when nothing exciting happened. The days when quitting would have been justified. They showed up anyway. They didn't wait to feel powerful. They acted until power became natural. Success is not a leap. It is the smallest step repeated until everyone else gives up. Most people love the idea of winning, but they hate the reality of commitment. They want freedom without the discipline that creates it. They want results without the routine required. They want confidence without the courage to start. But life does not hand out rewards for wanting. It rewards consistency. It rewards patience. It rewards those who do the work in silence when the world isn't paying attention. You do not lose because you are not capable. You lose because you keep negotiating with your goals. You keep letting your feelings vote on your future. You keep giving your comfort more authority than your dreams. And every time you choose comfort, you reinforce a weaker identity, the identity of someone who wishes but never becomes. But here is the powerful truth that identity is not fixed. Identity is earned. You can rebuild it through your actions. Every disciplined decision rewrites who you believe you are. Every challenge overcome gives you new evidence that you are stronger than you once thought. If you want to change your life, you must first change your proof. You must prove to yourself that you can begin, that you can continue, that you can finish. Think of your life like a bank account. Every positive action is a deposit. Every excuse is a withdrawal. The problem is, excuses feel cheap in the moment, but they cost you everything later. Success feels expensive now, but it pays you forever. Which investment are you committed to? Even if today feels small, even if today feels slow, it matters. Because today is training tomorrow's strength. Today is shaping the person who will handle the opportunities you haven't even seen yet. You are not supposed to be perfect. You are supposed to be persistent. Perfection does not build champions. Persistence does. So show up again and again and again, not for applause, not for validation, but because the person you aim to become deserves your effort today. Every repetition is a promise to your future. And one day that future arrives grateful that you didn't quit. There will be days when nothing makes sense. Days when your energy is low, your motivation is gone, and your goals feel too far away to matter. Those are the days that define you. Anyone can push forward when life feels exciting, but champions are built on the days when enthusiasm disappears. They choose to keep going not because it feels good, but because they know who they are becoming depends on it. You must understand something: progress is not loud. Growth doesn't always celebrate you. Sometimes the reward of today is simply knowing you didn't abandon yourself. Sometimes your biggest victory is choosing not to quit. That silent discipline, that quiet decision to stay committed, that is where your strength grows roots. And once those roots are deep enough, nothing can shake you anymore. People often ask, how do I stay motivated every day? The truth is, you won't. Nobody does. You will have doubts. You will feel frustration. You will question whether it's worth it. But feelings are not facts. Your feelings are temporary guests. Your future is permanent. Stop letting temporary emotions make permanent decisions for your life. Your dream deserves more loyalty than that. Think of every action you take like a message sent into the future. I believe in you. I'm preparing for you. I am building the life you deserve. Even if you don't see results today, your future self is already receiving the benefits of your consistency. Nothing you do is wasted. Not a single effort, not a single hour, not a single step. You may be tired, you may be overwhelmed, you may be fighting battles nobody sees, but the fact that you are still trying means there is a fire in you that refuses to die. Feed that fire, even with the smallest piece of effort, even when you doubt yourself, especially when you doubt yourself, because doubt is a sign that you are reaching for something greater than who you used to be. One day, the world will call your transformation overnight. They will praise your results, but never understand your journey. They will see the success, but overlook the sacrifices. They will admire the highlight, but ignore the hours you spent alone, working when quitting seemed easier. You are not behind, you are building. You are not stuck, you are strengthening. You are not failing. You are learning how to win. So when the hard days come, and they will, remind yourself why you started, remind yourself who you are fighting for, and remind yourself that greatness is built in the days that look ordinary. Keep going. Your future is closer than it appears. Every morning, life asks you a subtle question. Who are you choosing to become today? And the answer is never in your words. It is always in your actions. You can tell yourself you want success. You can whisper affirmations. You can dream about a different life. But if your habits don't change, nothing changes. The mind can desire greatness, but the body must do the work. And the work is daily. Most people underestimate the cost of their habits. They don't realize that every repeated behavior is shaping their identity. The person who reads every day becomes knowledgeable. The person who trains every day becomes strong. The person who avoids effort every day becomes weak. Every choice either plants seeds or pulls them out of the ground. You are either building momentum or breaking it. You don't become disciplined by winning one day. You become disciplined by refusing to lose the same way 2 days in a row. If yesterday you were lazy, today you rise. If yesterday you doubted yourself, today you try. If yesterday you fed your distractions, today you feed your purpose. Consistency is not perfection. Consistency is choosing your future more often than your fears. But let's be honest, there will be temptations. People around you will be satisfied with average. They will encourage you to settle, laugh at your goals, tell you that you're expecting too much from life. They'll tell you to relax, to slow down, to be realistic. But realistic is often just a code word for giving up. Your vision is not supposed to make sense to people who stop dreaming. Do not let their limits become your lifestyle. There is a version of you waiting on the other side of effort. A version that wakes up with confidence instead of doubt. That acts with purpose instead of hesitation. That is proud instead of regretful. Can you imagine meeting that version of yourself? Can you imagine walking through life knowing you earned every inch of your progress? You are capable of more than you have shown the world, more than you have even shown yourself. But capability means nothing without consistency. Strength means nothing without repetition. Potential means nothing without daily commitment. What you practice, you perfect. And right now, you are practicing something, either greatness or mediocrity. So answer the question that today is asking you, who will you choose to become? Will you let the day control you, or will you control the day? Will you obey excuses, or will you obey purpose? The future is not built in someday. It is built in the decisions you make before this day ends. Now is the moment that decides everything. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel ready. Now. Your future is not a distant dream. It is being built with the bricks of your daily choices. Every action you take, every decision you make, every moment you resist or give in is shaping the person you will become. You are either building greatness or building excuses. The quiet truth is that nobody else will vote for your potential. Nobody else will choose for you. It is yours to claim, and it is claimed one day at a time. Think about your habits as a reflection of your character. Are your habits courageous? Are they disciplined? Are they leading you forward, or are they pulling you backward? You don't become what you hope for, you become what you repeatedly do. The victories you dream about are nothing more than the sum of consistent effort. The life you imagine is created by the tiny, often invisible steps you take today. Each small action is proof that you respect your future, that you honor your dreams, and that you refuse to settle for anything less than your potential. There will always be fear, fear of failing, fear of looking foolish, fear that it won't be enough. But fear is not your enemy, it is your compass. It points to the areas where growth is waiting. The more fear you feel, the closer you are to a breakthrough. The choice is simple: let fear paralyze you, or let it push you to act anyway. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the refusal to be defeated by it. Every day is a vote for the future. Every moment is a chance to rewrite your story. You can't control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you respond. You can't always choose the circumstances, but you can choose your effort. You can't always choose the path of least resistance, but you can choose to keep moving forward. The person you are becoming is already listening to every decision you make, every act of discipline, every act of persistence, every act of courage. So today, commit fully. Commit to your growth. Commit to your vision. Commit to the person you want to be. Do not let distractions, doubts, or temporary discomfort steal your tomorrow. Every choice matters. Every habit counts. Every action is building the foundation of your life. The person you will be in 5 years is waiting for the efforts you take today. Rise, act, persist, and become the extraordinary life you were meant to live. Your daily actions are not small. They are everything. And now it is time to show up.